Today's video is all about how to get consistent orgasms if you're a woman. There always seems to be some question somewhere out here about this. Like, how do I get an orgasm? How do I make it happen during sex? Is there something weird with me or wrong with me? Usually there's something, you're usually pretty normal, but I do want to offer some guidance on how to get better, more frequent orgasms. The big thing to know is use your clitoris. Your clitoris is a very wonderful place, and it's really where all your orgasms come from. And I don't care whether you're capable of getting an orgasm during penis and vagina sex or not. It's still the clitoris that is at play when you get an orgasm. So let's explain that a little bit more. Your clitoris is just a little bit above your opening of your vagina. Now, there is something called the rule of thumb. So think of a thumb, 2.5 centimeters in therapy, in sex therapy. And basically what that rule of thumb says is if your clitoris is 2.5 centimeters or more away from the opening of your vagina, then you are incapable of having penis and vagina orgasms because the clitoris is just too far away. You can't. But if it's smaller than that, then some women can. But regardless of where it's located, you always have clitoral orgasms. Okay, so let's learn a little bit more about that. How do you get clitoral orgasms? Well, you have to regularly, directly stimulate it in a way that works for you. So the clitoris is very fickle. It's got so many nerve endings that it can almost numb itself at times. And so you do have to be careful to not overstimulate it. But just because it goes numb doesn't mean that you can't continue. It just means go to another area, stimulate another area for a time, and then go back to the clitoris. And some women cannot have direct clitoral stimulation. They need it like maybe using the clitoral hood, or maybe they need different parts of the labia stimulated that are pulling on the clitoris. Even when people talk about like a G-spot orgasm, a G-spot is still a variation of the clitoris. It's just the inside. So when somebody inserts their fingers into the vagina and they kind of do this come hither motion, that's usually the one people use to get that internal clitoral orgasm, they're still stimulating just the back, the legs of the clitoris in that area. And it's connected to the bladder as well. So when you work on your orgasms, one thing you have to do is when you're having sex with a partner, stimulate the clitoris in some way, shape, or form on a regular basis. And you have to learn how to stimulate it in a way that works for you. So that can involve a vibrator, it can involve oral sex, or it can involve a finger, or if your clitoris is closer to the opening of the vagina, the pressing or the pounding of the penis against the vagina can do it. But you don't have to rely on that solely. Couples who get regular orgasms with each other just are very flexible with how they get to them. So they don't make it a priority for penis and vagina intercourse to get to the orgasm. They value both sides. So maybe the husband or the male partner has penis and vagina intercourse and he gets his orgasm, but then you turn things around and you focus on her. And maybe that would involve oral sex. It might involve her touching herself while you kiss and rub her and, you know, hold her close and tell her she's beautiful. Always tell a woman she's beautiful. They love it. But so even if it's you doing it to yourself with him around, or if it's him doing it to you after or even before. Some people, they'll do the oral sex and they're like, let's have the female orgasm first and then we'll do penis and vagina intercourse and then we'll do that. But the point is, if you do not stimulate the clitoris, you will not orgasm. And so this is hard too because some people are relying on their partners to get them there, but your partner doesn't own a vagina, or even if they do, they still don't own your vagina. They don't know what your vagina feels like. And so I can't express this enough. The first way to learn orgasm is to do it yourself, is to masturbate. It's okay to masturbate. It's a good thing. It's a good thing to explore yourself and learn. And the more that you try different things and explore, the easier it is to figure out what gets you there. And then once you've figured out how to orgasm, then you can include your partner and teach them what it is you do to get to that orgasm. And then over time, sometimes they may be able to do it, but there are some couples that still, it is the female who helps herself to get to an orgasm while the partner is just there as a supportive, loving sexual partner. And it's still a very intimate thing. It just involves a different style. But the more flexible you are as a couple, the easier it is for both of you to have orgasms. Okay, if you find these helpful, please do like and subscribe, share them. And if you ever need help, my website is www.therapistintlouis.com. Thank you.